sa lahat. The public hearing on Senate Bill number 1328 and House Bill number 7689 is hereby called to order. I would like to acknowledge the presence of our minority floor leader, Senator Frank Drilon, and Senator Kiko Pangilinan, Senator Pia Cayetano. Meron pa bang hindi ako nakikita? Okay.
Revilla.
That's it. Yeah.
Senator Revilla.
Senator Bong Revilla. Thank you. And I would also like to acknowledge the presence of Deputy Speaker and Representative of the Lone District of Antique, Representative Lauren Legarda. May I request the COMSEC to acknowledge the other resource persons who are virtually attending this public hearing.
Good afternoon to everybody. The Committee on Tourism, joined with the Committee on Environment, Natural Resources, and Climate Change, and the Committee on Finance would like to acknowledge the following resource persons. From the Department of Tourism, we have Assistant Secretary Roberto Alabado III. From the Office of the Undersecretary for Tourism, Regulation, Coordination, and Resource Generation. From the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, we have Attorney Kim Dariel Collis from the Land Management Bureau. From the Department of Public Works and Highways, we have Attorney Darius Francis Paduada and Engineer Ralph Joed de la Cruz. From the Department of the Interior and Local Government, we have Attorney Cynthia Laureano Pulido. From the National Mapping and Resource Information Authority, we have Engineer Renato Esperanza and Forester Angelito Cinco from the Land Classification Division, Resource Data Analysis Branch. From the Tourism Infrastructure and Enterprises Zone Authority, we have Attorney Maria Salve Aure Carillo and Attorney Nino Aquino. From the Department of Tourism, Region 6, we have Ms. Phoebe Zelli Areño and Mr. Renetti Cortum. From the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, Region 6, we have Regional Executive Director Francisco Milla Jr. From the Department of the Interior and Local Government, Region 6, we have Regional Director Juan Jovian Ingeniero, together with Mr. Runiel Riel Esma Torres, Attorney Cedric Haranilla, Ms. Cheryl Takda, and Ms. Grace Natalie Azaraga. From the Municipality of Libertad, Province of Antique, we have Mayor Mary Jean Te. From the Municipality of Tibiao, Province of Antique, we have Mayor Hil Bandoja. From the Province of Antique, representing the Governor Cadiao, we have Provincial Tourism Officer Juan Carlos Perlas. From the Philippine Initiative for Environmental Conservation, we have Mr. John Carl Alonsagay. That is all, Madam Chair.
Thank you, COMSEC. Magandang hapon po ulit sa inyong lahat. For my opening statement, hayaan niyo po na magbalik tanaw ako sa nakaraan. Alam niyo, isang makasaysayang araw po sa akin ang March 11 dahil ito po ang unang araw ng aking self-imposed quarantine matapos ma-expose sa isang COVID positive sa isang committee meeting noong dinaluhan po natin noong nakaraang taon. Exactly after a year, marami na po ang nagbago at kailangan po nating mag-adjust sa panibagong hamon ng panahon kung nais nating muling bumangon ang industriya ng turismo sa ating bansa. The pandemic has taught us the importance of planning the right development of ecotourism destination. And while there is a need now to adapt to the challenges posed by COVID-19, it is also imperative that we move forward and plan for the future of the tourism industry. We need to ensure that our tourism destinations not only to take advantage of this situation, but also to guarantee that the environment is protected. The pandemic made us realize also how important open spaces are. The air we breathe, the sunlight, fresh flowers, the flowing water, the green belts, and all the things we used to ignore over the course of time until COVID came to a head. In a post pandemic world, the tourism industry is presented with a unique opportunity to introduce changes in the field of hospitality management, customer demands, and experience, consumption patterns, changes in design, and incorporating nature to create a healthier, safer, and sustainable space for everyone. Ang panukalang batas na ating tatalakayin ngayon ay isang magandang modelo kung paano natin mapapakinabangan ang kalikasan habang patuloy natin itong mapapangalagaan. As tourism industry stakeholders, it is our shared responsibility to protect the environment while gaining profit from our activities. Through today's discussion, I hope that we can come up with interventions, plans, and projects that would help protect, preserve, and sustainably develop our rich natural and cultural heritage. We want our destinations to start opening at ngayon ang pagkakataon to reboot, restart, and refresh para mapagsimula ang ating industriya ng malinis or on a clean slate. Naniniwala po ako na kung para muling bumangon ang turismo sa ating bansa, kailangan natin itong simulan ng tama. With this, I now call on this public consultation in order. With that, may I recognize and hear the statements of my colleagues present, if they have any. No, wala. Comsec?
Yes, ma'am.
Parang nawala. Nag-freeze ba sila?
There's a connection naman po.
Okay. Meron ho ba sa mga kasamahan ko na gustong mag-opening statement? Minority Floor Leader Drilon.
None, Senator Binay. I would just like to listen and ask questions later if need be. I have no opening statement to make, Madam Chair.
I will just ask.
I would like to acknowledge the presence of Senator Cynthia Villar.
Chairman, I just want to ask if this antique protected seascape and landscape is one of the 107 protected areas in the Philippines. Legislated protected areas.
I think kasama po siya, Senator Cynthia, dun sa declared protected sites. Siguro, to start the flow of the discussion, may we ask the proponent of House Bill number 7689, the gentlewoman from Antique, Deputy Speaker Lauren Legarda, for her statement.
Hi, good afternoon. Senator Nancy Binay. I can see Minority Leader Senator Frank Drilon. Senator Kiko Pangilinan is also here. Of course, Senator Cynthia Villar. I just heard your voice. Senator Pia Cayetano is online. Senator Bong Revilla. Who else are the other senators? I believe that the government agencies are also here. And I hope that the Penro Region 6 and Penro Antique are also here. Yes, perhaps I would like to put on record the explanatory note of the bill and that seeks to declare the Northern Antique protected seascape and landscape located in Libertad, Pandan, Sebaste, Culasi, and Tibiao in the province of Antique. I'd like to acknowledge our mayors of these towns, especially Mayor Bebote, the president of the League of Municipalities, where North Antique is also located. So this declares this north part of Antique as a responsible community-based ecotourism zone with the goals of developing and promoting the areas into a community-based ecological tourist destination, creating livelihood opportunities and protecting the natural resources within the areas, including mangroves and other aquatic plant and migratory birds and local birds. So the vast seascapes and the landscape found in these municipalities in the northern part of Antique is also a host to rich marine life and to diverse species of flora and fauna, some of which are endemic to the province. The Magabao wetland, I'm sure that Senator Villar is very familiar with wetlands because her own LGU is part of the INI Pass, yes, of the 107 INI Pass. And Magaba, there's a small barangay in Pandan, which also has a wetland. It is located in an estuary in the municipality of Pandan, which connects to the Pandan Bay and to the Bugang River, which has been recognized as one of the cleanest inland rivers in the Philippines. The area is rich in mangroves. You very well know, serves as a natural flood control mechanism. It's host to biologically rich ecological habitat, home to several endemic mangrove species, beach, forest, trees, and fauna. And we have the Philippine duck, which has been recognized by the IUCN, International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources, as vulnerable species. So the need to protect, preserve, and conserve these natural resources with the help primarily of the host local communities. So in anticipation also of the influx of local and foreign tourists, this bill, hopefully when enacted, will help secure adequate support, not just in the local level, but also in the national level, in a sense that is ecologically sustainable, responsible, participative, culturally sensitive, economically viable, and ethically and socially equitable for the local community. So those are just some pointers in my explanatory note that I wanted to put on record, and I hope that our colleagues in the Senate will see it fit to enact this bill into law. The question of Senator Villar, yes, this has been declared, the landscape has been declared as part of 107, but according to the PENRO, the marine area may not have been included in the metes and bounds of the INI Pass, thus the need for further protection. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker Lauren Legarda. I would like to acknowledge Senator Bong Revilla.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I just would like to manifest my support to the bills to be discussed before this committee. The Senate Bill 1328, authored by Senator Subiri, and House Bill 7689, introduced by Congresswoman at ang babalik nating Senadora Lauren Legarda. Alam niyo po, nakabisita na tayo sa Antique at napakainit ng pagtanggap sa atin doon ng mga Antiqueño. At talaga namang napakaganda po ng inyong probinsya, Senadora. At ang buong Panay Island. So, any measure that would preserve the beauty of the province and protect its natural resources and promote responsible and sustainable tourism, I am all for it. That's all, Madam Chairwoman. Thank you very much. This manifestation of support. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator Bong. Maybe we could hear now from DOT. I would like to call on ASEC Alabado. ASEC Alabado. Anybody from the DOT family? Comsec?
Yes, ma'am. Online po si Asek Alabalo. I think baka may problem lang
nga.
po yung...
Ayan, naka-ano na siya. May green na. Asek Robert?
Chairman Binay, can I make a manifestation?
Yes, go ahead po. Senator Villar.
I just want to inform Senator Lauren Ligarda that there is a proclamation declaring it as a protected area, but it's not legislated. So I guess you have to file a bill legislating it as a protected area. It's not part of the 107. We cannot hear you, Senator Lauren.
That's correct. That's what I said earlier. That's why I filed this bill for the marine area, because it was not part of the metes and bounds of the legislated NIPAS.
But this bill is for ecotourism, not for NIPAS.
Yes.
The NIPAS is different.
Yes, correct. Because I was the one who defended the NIPAS and included, in fact, many wetland areas. You're correct. The NIPAS is the North Panay protected area. Yes. And in their measurements, I believe, and the Penro and the regional director would know better, they included LGU's land area, terrestrial, but it may not have included the marine landscape. And so the protection of the marine landscape is essential. That's the reason I believe why the secondary committee is also the DNR committee, which you chair. And so in protecting it for sustainable tourism, we will also protect the coastal or the marine area, because part of this is already part of the INIPAS legislated. But the INIPAS did not cover the length and breadth of the waters.
And that's okay.
Yes.
If you want to proclaim it as an ecotourism area, I'm just informing you that it's not a legislated protected area.
You are correct. You are very correct. In fact, that was my first point before. Part of it is part of the legislation, but the water is not part of the INIPAS. So, kailangan paigtingin ang proteksyon ng tubig gaya ng lupa. Oo. Pero yung binanggit kong wetland,
Protected
sa Barangay Magaba, I'll have to check with the Penro.
Yeah, you check it.
Kung kasama yan sa INIPAS.
Because I checked it and they said it's not. It's not.
Yes.
So
we would
better check it. You're very good in this. So,
yes.
anyway, I have no problem declaring it as a protected area. If there is.
I'm glad you mentioned that. That will be a twin bill when we increase the number of protected areas in the country. Remember, there were only 12, and then
13.
Yeah, and then we did the INIPAS 94.
94. So 107.
Yeah, you sponsored it.
It was
sponsored
passed.
It was passed. Part of this is part of INIPAS, pero hindi nga kompleto kasi malawak yung lugar.
Okay.
At yung tubig hindi na isama. So, i-protect natin sa ecotourism, tapos we will legislate yung hindi nasama, ile-legislate natin sa INIPAS with your support. Yun.
Yeah. You just file a bill.
Thank you. Thank you for that reminder. And yes, that will be a supportive supplementary measure. Thank you so much.
Deputy Speaker Lauren, just for clarification, dun sa meets and bounds niya, may portion doon na part na protected area.
Senator Binay,
Legislated.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I will defer to the DENR region to be able to perhaps map what is included in the Northwest Panay legislated under the INIPAS and those which will be declared ilang bayan lang yan, 5 LGUs under the ecotourism. So we will file another one for INIPAS, but this is for sustainable tourism in those 5 LGUs. I cannot say, I am certain there are many areas not covered by the INIPAS yet. Hindi pa.
Siguro, maybe we can call on DNR Region 6 to further explain.
Yes.
Yung DNR Region 6.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Madam Chair. Good afternoon, honorable senators.
Yes po. Please introduce yourself po.
I am Regional Executive Director Francisco Milla Jr. of DNR Region 6. Ma'am, with regards to this bill, we fully support the bill declaring this NAPSEL as the ecotourism zone. With regards to the question a while ago, hindi pa po namin ma-determine kung talagang nakasabay ang portion nito doon sa Northwest Panay Peninsula Natural Park. Pero sa tingin namin malayo ito because nasa northern portion ito, composed of wetlands and then yung Seascape on the northern Antique, Madam. But we fully support the bill.
So, technically, hindi nyo pa sigurado if a certain portion dun sa meets and bounds dun sa bill is part of the legislated protected area.
Yeah, we have not yet determined, but we will, after this, we will do the projection kung talagang nakasali na ito. Kasi may meets and bounds naman itong proposed bill ngayon.
I'd like to acknowledge, nagre-raise mo ng hand si Minority Floor Leader Drilon.
We'll vote for this bill because it is for the good of Antique. But having said so, can I be benefited by an explanation of what the bill is all about? Some things.
Senator Lauren, you
Is it being addressed to the chair, Madam Chair, or to me as a congressperson?
To you, Madam, to Sir, to Congressman, Senator Lauren, said, can we be benefited by some detailed explanation?
Thank you. Thank you for that, Senator Drilon. I miss hearing from you and our debates on the floor as well. I'd be more than happy to put
Who's saying that there is no debate?
portions. I'm sorry.
You said you are missing our debates on the floor.
Our debates on the floor, our hearings, and hearing your voice. Yes. Okay.
Why?
So.
There are no hearings in the House?
No. I can see that Senator Drilon is in the mood again to.
Okay. Please, for the record. Yes, please.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. So this bill seeks to declare the Northern Antique protected seascape and landscape located in the municipalities of Libertad, Pandan, Sebaste, Hulasi, and Tibiao in the province of Antique as a responsible community-based ecotourism zone with the goal of developing and promoting the areas into a community-based ecological tourist destination and creating livelihood opportunities and protecting the natural resources within the areas, including mangroves, other aquatic and migratory birds, local birds, etc. So it ensures the conservation of the biodiversity and the preservation of this said ecotourism site when passed into law. It will develop community-based ecological tourism as a core management strategy in the development of the NAPSIL. It will develop ecotourism products and programs that will generate employment for the local residents, consistent with the preservation and maintenance of its natural resources. It will guarantee the benefits of the tourism industry are equitably shared and distributed among the local residents concerned by giving support to community and home-based tourism enterprises such as resorts and homestays, micro and small businesses, etc. It will ensure the proper training of local tour operators, tour guides, NGOs, with the help, of course, of the DNR, the DOT, the national government agencies. And we, of course, will value education and other enriching activities. It will guarantee that the development of our local tourism will ensure the needs of the local residents for adequate water supply, food, transport, and local constructions are first secured and met. So this NAPSIL will cover an area of 364,453.5395 hectares. It will be composed of the wetland areas in Barangay Magaba, in Pandan Antique, composed of the mangrove forest and estuarine river ecosystem, with an area of 21,095 hectares in Barangay Magaba, and the seas, the islets, the sandbar ecosystem covering the municipalities of Libertad, Pandan, Sebaste, Culasi, and Tibiao, with an area of 213,555 hectares. The Pandan Bay has an area of 150,876.25 hectares. The Northern Antique Protected Seascape and Landscape will be accorded hopefully priority development by TIEZA, DOT, DENR, and other government agencies, subject to the rules and regulations to be governed by the development of the ecotourism zone, as provided for in the National Ecotourism Strategy, as implemented by the DOT and the DNR. So there are so many salient provisions on the tourism plan, the carrying capacity of the seascape and the landscape, and its endemic and migratory bird species must be assessed. There must be specific site assessment, including terrestrial and biotic and abiotic, oceanographic, and other scientific site assessments. There must be product development for local income generation and capacity building for local community to allow the residents to manage their economically viable and responsible community-based ecotourism enterprises in a sustainable manner. And of course, the formulation for local groups and networks, marketing strategies that reflect the natural, social, and environment integrity of our NAPSIL. And regular water quality monitoring of the seawater and our inland river as well must be done, and everything must be followed, including the strict implementation of RA 9003, which is the Ecological Solid Waste Management Law, must be strictly implemented, along, of course, with other existing environmental laws, including the Clean Water Act, and the proper use, protection, conservation, revival of water resources and the proper sewerage system in accordance with our Clean Water Act. These are just some of the provisions, Senator Frank, that I seek your support for, so that this area in Antique, which is actually gilid na to ng Aklan o magkatabi, will be protected sustainably. Oo. I can't hear.
In other words, yeah, there's an echo. Anyway. This sets the parameters for the equitable development of the four municipalities that are part of Antique. Is that correct?
And Lauren, nakamute.
Sandali. I press my unmute and then I'm muted. Yeah. So maybe it's the host. I'm not sure. Okay, I press it again. Am I heard?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. I hope when I was reading the bill or salient parts, was I heard?
Yes.
Okay. These are the towns of Pandan, Sebaste, Libertad, Tibiao, and Kulasi, I think, is also here. So 5 LGUs, if I'm not mistaken. Yes.
So this set the parameters, policies for the development of these 5 towns. The bill.
Yes, Senator Drilon.
Covering an area of over 364,450.50 hectares.
Yeah, yes, Senator Drilon.
And this of course requires funding, and no funds are yet appropriated in the bill.
Wait for its enactment. I would, am I heard now?
Yes.
Okay. I would await it. I did not provide a specific amount. In my 3 terms in the Senate, we oftentimes put amounts and then it's not funded. So I don't want it to be an unfunded law. So it would be best we protect it, whatever resources the province and the LGUs have, and whatever our good senators can put in the GAA to help. Maybe you would like, or whoever, or me as Congressperson representative can put there, or whatever the agencies would deem fit. Remember, this is right across Boracay. This is only 30
They will
minutes.
not put budget unless you put budget.
No, I am sure, Senator.
No,
Oh,
Senator Lauren, I'm with the committee on chairman of the committee on environment. I'm also the chairman of the committee on finance with regards to this protected area. Unless you put it in the budget for the year, they will not put any budget there.
Sure.
So you have to lobby that they indicate a budget there for your protected area.
Yes, you're correct, because the 107 are not necessarily budgeted or maliit ang budget. So, I will put that provision and make it a conservative budget, because I think, yes, it's needed, but it's more also the attitude, because our existing laws must simply be followed. Yes, I'll put a budget. I'll put a budgetary, whatever
Every
the
year.
Senate thinks.
Every year in the GAA.
Tutulungan niyo ako. Sige. Thank you for reminding me.
I want to manifest that I'm asking Secretary Simato, kasi hindi ba may greening program siya na palaging naku-question? Kasi tinatanong ng mga senator, nasan ba yung greening na yan? So I'm convincing him that to put that greening budget to the protected areas, so that the senators will not ask where the greening program is, because it's indicated.
You're very correct. Kasi nga, over 50 billion na ang linagay sa NGP mula pa ng 2012. Ngayon, hinahanap nga, saan ba yung mga tinanim na yan at ganun. So, kung yung 107 na protected
Lalagyan.
areas,
I-divide.
yeah. Okay.
I'm asking him to do that next year para it will not be questioned where the greening program is going. I think it's but natural that we will give it to the protected areas, the greening program. And when you say greening, it's not only the trees which we use for. We can put other trees that can serve as livelihood of the people in that area. Sama ng sound. Nag-e-echo.
Yeah.
Something wrong with the sound.
Comsec, can you please check?
Ma'am,
Echo.
yeah, it's difficult because I could hardly understand because of the echo. In any case, what just I think for this bill to be effective, it has to be funded under the Adjournment Act.
Yes, I will put a, since it was passed in the House, it's already with you, and in consultation with the chairs, respective chairs of the committees where the bills are, we will put a doable, affordable funding provision for the sustainable ecotourism portion.
I would suggest replace that with General Appropriations Act, which is coming in a few months. And so just in time, we can help Senator Legarda. She places the appropriate amendment in the general to fund.
Because they're always cutting the budget of the greening program. So I told Secretary Simatu, para hindi ikat ang budget mo, ilagay mo na lang sa protected areas, sa legislated protected areas, para i-divide mo na lang to, para alam nila kung saan pupunta. Diba?
Probably, ma'am, we could a special provision allow us to the greening program for the ecotourism zone.
Yes,
So that,
that's okay. They can divide it equally.
we can divide it. We don't have to stay to divide it. Hindi po papayag ang JLR. We'll just say that there will be, you can have access to it. Meaning, you can use it for the for bamboos. If bamboos are the who would be the preferred greening program material and other services. So I agree with Senator Villar. Let us amend the greening program in order to allow the use of that greening program, either in part or in whole, to be used for the eco-tourism zones.
And so with the protected areas, legislated protected areas.
Protected area.
Yeah, siguro ho, maybe we can ask yung BMB representative. Meron ho tayo si Mr. Vicente, is part of the National Parks Division. Maybe he knows kung magkano ba talaga ginagastos ng DNR sa mga protected areas, kung may ginagastos.
Saka ecotourism.
Yes po, magandang hapon po. Good afternoon to all the members of the committee. And samantalin ko na rin po na ibigay po yung position po ng BMB while also answering the question of on the fund. Unahin ko lang po yung comment po ng Bureau dun sa proposed bill. We support the enactment of the bill, and we have also noted that the preceding bills are essentially similar. Hence, the following comments and recommendations applies to both. The term protected seascape and landscape is one of the 8 categories of PAs under NIPAS, and in this regard, we recommend to legislate the areas of protected area under the NIPAS. But since the bill expressly did not provide for the inclusion of the said area in the NIPAS, the area known as the Northern Antique Protected Seascape and Landscape should not be referred to as protected landscape and seascape, but we suggest it to be referred to as Northern Antique Ecotourism, Seascape, and Landscape to avoid confusion with the protected landscape and seascape under the NIPAS. Another recommendation is for the technical description to be reviewed by NAMRIA since we are not able to plot the technical description. Next recommendation is we recommend to add management zoning as one of the components and strategies of the ecotourism management plan. Next, the prohibition under Section 8 of leasing of foreshore areas to private individuals for the purpose of protecting mangrove forest is recommended to be limited only to areas directly adjacent to mangrove forest and not the entire stretch of the foreshore of the 5 municipalities. So this is to give an opportunity for the participation of community-based ecotourism businesses to encourage the growth of the local economy and to foster the economic benefits to host communities. Next recommendation, still on Section 8, we recommend using foreshore lease agreement or forest land use agreement as an instrument instead of the special use agreement since the area is not a protected area under the NIPAS. Another recommendation, the Protected Area Management Board or PAMB is the governing body of NIPAS protected areas, and since this is not being proposed as a protected area, the term PAMB should not be used in this site to avoid confusion with the protected areas or PAMB of protected areas. Another recommendation is...
Vicente?
Yes, ma'am.
Question lang. Mababago ba yung position nyo if this was declared as a protected area? Kasi katulad din sa discussion kanina, there may move to include it dun sa legislated protected area. May magbabago ba?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Definitely po, ma'am. Marami po magbabago. And one of the recommendation for the inclusion of the area under the NIPAS is it should be assessed first dun sa mag-undergo ng protected area suitability analysis para ma-establish saan yun talaga yung extent ng mga biodiversity rich areas na siyang i-include dun sa meets and bounds ng na protected area. And dun po sa members po ng board, we recommend po na kahit hindi na po isali po ang BMB doon since may representation na po ang DNR through the PENRO, but we also recommend to add the CENRO since the CENRO is the DNR arm dun sa area, and we also recommend to add the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources in the management board. Now going po doon sa question po kanina kung magkano po ang budget po na napupunta po sa protected areas is to admit po talagang minimal lang po. And we have a proposal for a 500 million sana last year, but it did not materialize. And usually po
yung 500 million nyo is for the 107 yun, di ba?
Yes po. Yun po yung mga pag-budget para sa mga priority activities sana dun sa pag-establish ng mga Protected Area Management Office, pagkandak po ng mga biodiversity assessment and monitoring, yung socio-economic monitoring, lahat po yun hindi po natuloy. Meron lang po mga ilan-ilan lumipat po ng budgeting sa ibang sources. So karamihan po ng mga nakatarget na activities po is hindi po natuloy dahil po doon sa dahil na-outlook po yung budget. And we hope po sana I'm personally elated to hear na there is a proposal or you're planning to have the PAs, at least the 107 protected areas, to be budgeted in the coming years. And masaya po kami pagka na-approve po yan. And we also have a proposal with the DBM for around 3,000 plantilla positions. So sana po maibigay din po ng DBM para po ma-establish yung Protected Area Management Office. Kasi ngayon po is wala po tayong permanent na mga plantilla positions sa mga management office. Nakikishare lang po ng manpower ang PAMO or PA Management Office sa mga CENROS and PENROS po na nag-ooperate dun sa mga areas. Salamat po.
So parang is it safe to assume na halos wala ko tayong ginagastos to protect this specific area?
Meron naman po ma'am yung mga kung ano po yung mga identified na mga priority activities po nila, mga
So dito ba may nagbe-benefit ba to dun sa greening program ngayon ng DENR?
mayroon pang mga may mga protected areas po na site po ng National Greening Program, but not all po. Ang isa nakikita po kasi natin ako ng NGP, yung commodity po kasi ng species na itatanim sa mga protected areas, sometimes may hindi nagkakasundo, since sa PA po kasi ang nare-require ng PA is yung mga endemic species na nandun po sa protected area mismo, yun yung pararamihin or itatanim, whereas yung mga available po kasi na commodities na available po sa NGP, minsan hindi po available doon, or nahihirapan po actually ang NGP na makaproduce ng mga
Hindi. Pero
species
dito
po
sa
na
lugar
endemic.
na to, may nagbe-benefit sila sa greening program or wala?
Dito po sir, dito po ma'am sa proposed area po natin ma'am.
Yes. Yes.
Siguro po ma'am sa region 6 po ma'am ang makakasagot kung may
Mas makakasagot. Okay.
yes po.
Yes, Senator Villar.
I just want to make a manifestation that when we take care of the protected area, we should not limit ourselves to trees na pinuputol ng mga illegal logger. Kasi mas maganda rin na itatanim natin mga trees yung papakinabangan natin kasi para hindi puputulin. The problem with protected areas, pinuputol na illegal loggers yung mga tree kasi they can only benefit if they cut it. But unlike if you include like bamboo, even if you cut it, it will regrow. It's sustainable. So right now, Secretary Simato is very much convinced that bamboo can be planted in protected areas because bamboo, you can cut it and sell it, and yet it will regrow after 1 year. So it's more sustainable. And just like cacao and coffee, you can plant it also in the protected areas because that's part of the greening program. If the land is suitable and the climate is suitable, so that people can benefit from it. Kaya kasi nila kinakat, wala silang benefit kundi katin ng puno. But if they can benefit do sa bunga, at saka yung mga nagre-regrow, mas better protected ang protected area. That is what happened in those areas like the Marikina watershed and the other one, the Cagayan watershed. Mga tinanim nila, nakadagdag pa dun sa pagbaha. Like for example pala yung corn, pag tinabi mo sa tabi ng river, meron silang nilalagay doon na na nakaka-erode ng lupa. So the more na nag-erode sa river yung lupa, yung mga ganun ba, that we should study what we can plant that will provide livelihood to people so that they will not engage in illegal logging, and at the same time makakatulong to protect the protected area. Parang meron tayong business orientation sa ating protected area. And I just want to make that manifestation kasi yun na nagkukulang sa DNR. Dapat, alam nyo na ang problema illegal logging, di magtanim kayo ng mga bagay na hindi magiging ng illegal logging. That will not cause illegal logging. Kailangan may business orientation tayo, and maybe we can build also what you call that processing facilities para halimbawa yung bamboo ma-process mo to sculpture which you can sell to DepEd, something like that. Tama si Senator Lauren Ligarda that it should provide livelihood also to people para people will take care of the protected area. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator Villar. Siguro, Mr. Vicente, can you submit to the committee your position paper?
Yes po, we will submit po the official version of the comments po.
Siguro, can we hear from Namria? Para naman din sa meets and bounds.
Chair, Chair, and
Yes,
other
Engineer
honorable.
Esperanza.
Yes, ma'am, and the other members of the honorable senators. For Namria's comment, based on our review on the technical descriptions of the Senate bill, disclosed that line segment 16 and 17 of the parcel B should be north 40 degrees 46 minutes with a distance of 6,141.86 meters instead of north 35 degrees 22 minutes west with a distance of 6,930.04 meters. And the other one is line segment 17 to 18 of parcel B also should be north 16 degrees 52 minutes west with a distance of 6,841.57 meters instead of north 19 degrees 42 minutes west with a distance of 5,891.75 meters. This is located on page 4, section 6, line 35 and 36 in the Senate Bill, Bill 1328 and House Bill 7689 is on page 6, section 6, line 11 and 12, ma'am.
And then, Engineer Esperanza, bakit may ganitong correction?
Actually, ma'am, when we plotted the technical description, nagkakaroon po kasi ng gap. So, kailangan po sana yung boundary ng parcel B saka yung parcel A dapat identical. Nagkakaroon po siya ng gap, ma'am, pag pinat natin na ganun.
Okay.
So, parang in-adapt lang po natin yung technical description ng parcel A para magiging identical siya sa boundary ng parcel B.
Okay. Thank you. Next, maybe we can hear from DPWH Central and Region 6 para malaman natin kung ano yung existing infra projects na nangyayari dun sa area and kung meron silang future plans for this specific area. DPWH.
Madam Chair and the members of this committee, good afternoon. I am Marilu Zamora, the officer in charge of the Planning and Design Division of DPWH Region 6. As for our agency, we strongly support this House Bill number 1328 and House Bill number 7689 for the purpose of advancing the socioeconomic development in the northern part of Antique. Well, in convergence with the Department of Tourism, the DPWH had been implementing projects that provide access to the various tourism sites in the province of Antique. For the province, we have implemented. No, I mean, we have already completed. Some of these are ongoing, and part of it is for funding. No? A total of 38.66 kilometers of access roads leading to declared tourism destinations in the province.
Miss Zamora, yung specific dun sa area na pinag-uusapan natin, may plano na ba kayong road network? Or may existing road network?
We, as of the moment, ma'am, we are improving the different access roads, no, leading to tourism destination. Ito po yung isa, yung leading to economic area, tourism area in Pandan, Antique, ma'am. We have the Pandan Ibahay Road. We also have the Barangay Kamansihan, Barangay Aluhipan Road leading to Mount Majaas in the municipality of Culase in Antique. We also have the concreting of Union Maanghit Cave Road leading to Maanghit Cave in Libertad, Antique.
So, Miss Zamora, part ng trip C.
Yes, ma'am. Yes po. So, ito po yung mga i-implement naming mga projects doon po sa northern part of Antique. The total length of 38.66 kilometers. Yeah. Yan po, ma'am. Under the convergence program with the Department of Tourism.
Okay, thank you. Next naman, may we hear from BIFAR para dun sa marine protected area.
Hello? Hello po?
Proceed.
Hello po, ma'am. Narinig po kami.
Yes, naririnig po.
Hello po, ma'am. Our chair, Senator Binay, and of course, members of the committee. Lorna Angor from BFAR 6 in the province of Antique. Ma'am, first of all, we strongly support the position, the BFAR 6 strongly support for the creation of the NAPSIL, Sun Ecotourism Zone in the northern part of Antique. In the part of BFAR, ma'am, we have, it can benefit, of course, in the northern part, almost 13,981 fisher folk. And of course, to add on, we have 131 hectares of coral reef. And we have, what I mean seagrass areas, and we have 24,000 of coral reefs. And of course, the northern part of Antique, we have 22 MPA, Marine Protected Area, and we have 430 hectares of protected areas of coral reef. So, the Bureau is very much supportive of this move. Thank you po.
Yes, at hindi nyo ho nakikita na pag na-develop siya as a tourist destination na pwedeng ma-damage yung marine area natin.
Ma'am, as stated in this bill, it is clearly stated that it will, it is protect. While doing the ecotourism, while doing the program, it is also an alternative livelihood to our fisher folk.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you po. Ngayon naman po, maybe balik ko tayo sa DOT. Asek Robert.
Yes.
Asek Abaw,
Good.
Yusek ka na.
ASEC pa rin po. OIC Undersecretary lang, Madam Chair. Okay. Good afternoon, Madam Chair. I'm so sorry for earlier. I think it was an inconsistency between the software and the hardware of my laptop. Anyway, I have switched to my ever dependable iPad. For the Department of Tourism, Madam Chair, and members of the Senate, this act declaring the Antique Northern Protected Seascape and Landscape located in the municipalities of Libertad, Pandan, Sebaste, Culasi, and Tibiao in the province of Antique as an ecotourism zone to encourage responsible and sustainable use as well as the preservation and conservation of the natural resources found therein, appropriating funds thereof and for other purposes introduced by Senator Juan Miguel Zubiri and Deputy Speaker Lauren B. Legarda respectively. For the Department of Tourism, we would like to inform the Senate that the northern Antique area has the following features. The area has positively contributed to the tourism growth of the region under its provincial tourism campaign, When Mountains Meet the Sea. In 2019, the 5 municipalities contributed 32,629 tourists, which comprised 47% of the total tourist arrivals of the province. It has also recorded 460,341 same-day visitors on the same year. The area has unique wildlife.
Asek Alabado,
Yes po.
question. Nagka-spill over ba sa area na to with the closure of Boracay?
Yes, Madam Chair. During the Boracay area, the pre-COVID, tourists coming from Boracay would have day trips going to this northern part of Antique because ang isa sa mga nakita ng mga turista doon, yung attraction po nila doon sa Tibiao. Sa Tibiao ho, they have the Kawa hot bath which is located in Barangay Tuno. So
yung kalat na kalat sa Instagram na parang niluluto sila sa kawa
opo,
with the
opo.
flowers.
With the flowers. So people from Boracay, Madam Chair, go for a day trip going there. I recently talked to the owner, and he said that it's usually foreigners ang gustong pumunta doon, and they're now thinking of introducing more accommodations because we're saying that after Boracay they may want to extend their trips into Antique, which I think the good representative Lauren Legarda wants. We have Boracay tourists spilling over visiting Antique. Full disclosure lang po for our senators. I can also trace my roots po papunta ho dito sa area na to, kaya baka sabihin ho ninyo nagbubuhat ng sariling bangko. My grandparents come from Kulasi and Tibiao. Kaya ho swak na swak po ang nito. And for the tourism statistics, we have 45 accommodation establishments in the area with a total of 385 rooms. So if this can be declared as an ecotourism zone, we are expecting that more tourists would come and more income as more investors would also contribute to tourism investments. Activities that are there would include whitewater rafting, health and wellness tourism, ito po yung sa Kawa-Kawa. Then beach activities, we have biking, we have river tubing, trekking, caving, diving, camping, pottery making, and ATV riding, which are now being offered in the area. And access to the destination is through the San Jose Airport, the recently opened San Jose Airport, and the Kulasi Port. So in terms of the tourism road infrastructures in northern Antique that were funded in 2018, meron ho tayong in 2019, it includes the rehabilitation and improvement of the circumferential road leading to Lipata, Port, Kulasi, Antique. And at the same time, the concreting of the Barangay Kakamanhan, Barangay Alohipan, leading to Mount Madyaas, mountain trekking. Mount Madyaas, Madam Chair, is the highest peak in Panay Island, and it is a popular destination for trekking. For us in bird watching, it is also a very big area wherein you can see one of the rarest hornbills of the Philippines. We have caves located in Libertad that may be further developed in the future. And at the same time, we have in Sebaste, municipality of Sebaste, the beautiful falls called Igpasungao. Then for island beaches, we have the Mararison and the Batbatan Islands, also in Kulasi. So the Department of Tourism hereby recommends that the Senate Bill number 1328 and House Bill number 7689 be enacted for the benefit of the tourism industry, agriculture and fishery sector, and environmental conservation of the northern Antique area in particular and Western Visayas region in general po.
Siguro Asek, what kind of support naman can you give if pag napasa na natin to, ano naman yung commitment na makukuha namin sa DOT for them to promote this area as an ecotourism zone? Hindi lang promotion, pati sa development, baka makatulong din kayo.
Ang ano ho natin ngayon, Madam Chair, for the Department of Tourism, we are really focusing on product development. We have a lot of products that we have to develop so that we can attract more people. And in this area of northern Antique, we can see that we have beautiful beaches. We have for tourists who are not na nagsawa na doon sa beach ng ng Boracay, we can now introduce them the mountains of Kulasi and the rivers and the wellness resorts of Pibiao. So this can complement the attraction, the destination of Boracay, and the Department of Tourism is now undertaking circuit development wherein we can connect Boracay with other destinations, especially yung pinakamalapit po, ito pong Northern Antique. So it is very ideal for us to develop so that the spillover or the next destination to be visited by the Boracay tourists will be Northern Antique po.
Okay, ayan ha, Senator Lauren, may commitment na yung DOT.
May I just Senator Binay, if I may? Or Senator Binay?
Yes,
Yes.
Go ahead.
I would just like to congratulate and thank our DOT ASEC, Robert Alabado, who so comprehensively and competently mentioned the ecotourism, sustainable tourism, nature tourism, agrotourism sites in North Antique. Alam niya sa puso, nakakatuwa. Mula sa mga kuweba hanggang sa mga hinulugang taktak, mga waterfalls, hanggang sa mga marine landscape, hanggang sa majestic Majaas. At saka, ito'y 30 minutes away lang from Katiklan Airport. Imagine pag landing mo sa Katiklan, mag 30 minutes kang boat sa Boracay, ito by land na well-paved road, 30 minutes, sabi mo na 40 minutes na Seascape, parang yung sa California papunta sa yung Mile Drive, Seascape.
18 Mile High, Carmel.
Sa may Carmel. Parang Carmel, isang side bundok, yung isang side ay karagatan. Tama siya, ang sikat na sikat, tama si Senator Binay, sikat na sikat sa Instagram, ay yung paglublob sa kawa. Ay iimbitahin ko kayong lahat mga senador na lumulublob sa kawa.
Parang wala pa nakikita picture mo na nakalublob sa kawa.
Dear, meron na. Ire-repost ko. Ire-repost ko kasi medyo, syempre pag nakalublob ka sa kawa, nakikita ang iyong tagiliran. Diba? Ganun. Kita lahat yan. Pero ako'y nakapatadyong nun. Pero tama si Asek na mostly mga foreigners, may mga locals na rin, ang dami-daming foreigners, yung mga galing Boracay. At gusto ko rin sabihin, ito'y talagang makaka-enhance, hindi lang ng Antiqueño kasi katabi namin ng Aklan eh. Yung mga galing nga sa 7 barangays ng Pandan hanggang sa Maadjos, yung 7 upland barangays, dumadaan pa ng Ibahay, Aklan para makarating ng poblasyon ng Pandan. So this will really benefit the whole of Western Visayas, the whole of Panay, even Capiz, even Iloilo, and ang daming trabaho ang mabibigay dito. But of course, I will be the first one to be conscious of the development na dapat sustainable ayon sa ating pangangalaga ng kalikasan. Yun. Thank you, Asek. Nakakatuwa ka. Taga Kulasi. Yung lighthouse din sa Mararison, di ba? Ang ganda-ganda ng lighthouse. Oo, yun. At saka, ito pa, meron na ngayon na mga fast cut at meron din yung Starlight Ferry mula Mindoro hanggang Katiklan, Mindoro hanggang Kulasi, hanggang Kaluya. So imagine, Region 4B at Region 6, ang dami na ng trade and tourism, it will really spur tourism. So I'm doing this not just for my district or my province, but the whole of Panay. And may destination na ngayon, lalo na from Mindoro, Region 4B, hanggang sa Region 6. Kasi ang lapit niyan, yung aming isla ng Kaluya, ay nasa gitna ng Mindoro at ng Antique at ng Panay. Kasabi ko nga, imagine Katiklan Airport, 30 minutes to North Antique. Ang San Jose Airport nga ay 2 hours and a half pa, 3 hours eh. Pero ang Aklan, 30 minutes lang mula sa aming lugar. So, it's another destination. And post-COVID, pag tayo'y nabakuna na, iimbitahin ko kayo para makita nyo ang ibig sabihin ni Asek Robert, which na taga Kulasi pala. Durugin ka salamat, Asek Robert. Yusek Robert. Yan. Okay.
Kuruhi Antique.
Okay, thank you. I would like to call again si Pedro Andres Untal. Meron ata siyang gusto i-clarify.
Good afternoon po. Am I heard? Good afternoon po. Yes, maraming salamat po. Good afternoon to our Congresswoman Lauren Legarda, to our Madam Senators Villar and Binay, and all the rest of the members of the committee. I am Pedro Andres Untal of Pedro Antique, Department of Environment and Natural Resources. Ito po yung proposal natin, Northern Antique Protected Seascape and Landscape, is a part of protected area under NIPAS Act. Pag sinabi po natin protected area, we have two system. Yung sa terrestrial protected area, we have Northwest Tanay Peninsula Natural Park. Ito po yung ridge na ecosystem natin. Ngayon, pag sa dagat, yung marine ecosystem, we proposed yung Northern Antique Protected Seascape and Landscape. Corollary to what the Honorable from DOT, Sir Alabado have said, we are encouraging and sponsoring ecotourism. But when we say ecotourism, yung backbone ng ecotourism is more on the environment, the health environment of the ridge ecosystem, yung terrestrial natin, yung state of the forest, state of wildlife, state of caves. Ito yung backbone mismo ng ecotourism which we are aiming to put into yung sustainable and community-based ecotourism na tuloy-tuloy, hindi siya isang biglaan lang at wala na. Ngayon, nabanggit din na when we say Boracay, very lucrative yung diving activity sa Boracay. But the truth is, yung magagandang site, divers coming from Boracay are brought into Northern Antique, particularly Pandan Bay, Sebasticion, and the famous Seco Island. Anong ibig sabihin? It means that yung Antique pala has a hidden treasure which needs to be conserved, protected, at ma-regulate yung ecotourism. Now with this protected area, the Northern Antique Protected Seascape and Landscape, in a nutshell, protected area siya. It aims to, number one, achieve the conservation of the marine resources that Antique have in Northern Antique. Number two, it aims also to promote a sustainable source of income through a responsible and sustainable ecotourism ventures with Department of Tourism, of course, and also with LGU and the community. Number three, it also aims to achieve food security. What does it mean? It will mean that Northern Antique Protected Seascape and Landscape has more than 300,000 plus hectares of marine area. Dagat po yan. And what does it mean? Andito yung mga corals natin, wherein yung mga isda natin, dito sila nagpo-produce. Ito yung nagpo-protect ng mga corals natin, wherein ito yung source ng mga fries ng mga isda natin na inuhuli ng mga mangingisda at dinadive ng mga divers natin. And in a nutshell, ito yung nagpapasiguro ng pagkain natin coming from fish as protein source. So ibig sabihin, if we have this protected area bill, we could achieve not only three things: conservation, which is very, very important. Number two, when we already have conservation and protection of marine resources, we will have a sustainable ecotourism. Dahil ako mismo, diver ako. Pag walang isda yung dagat mo, walang divers na pupunta dyan. Number three, if we protect and conserve the coral reefs, sigurado tayo maraming isda na maninirahan dyan at maraming isda ang mag-propagate. What does it mean? It will mean that we could assure na yung mga fisher folk natin ay may isda pang huhulihin. So ibig sabihin, pag ma-achieve natin ito lahat, conservation, ecotourism, food security, it will mean revenue sa local government unit. It will mean that we achieve only not one thing or two things or three things. We address the condition of the environment for conservation. We address the ecotourism, which Antique, where the mountains meets the sea, ay yung strength niya is more on ecotourism. But we cannot achieve ecotourism if we will be having a loose hold on the conservation of our natural resource from the terrestrial and the marine area. So sa part naman ng DNR, as the PENRO, we are glad that this bill shall be passed because it will mean a guaranteed protection of the area na famous for diving from divers coming from Boracay, na yung area na very, very peculiar yung mga marine resource niya. Imagine we have sightings of giant manta ray na kung titingnan mo, yung sightings na yan is only Tubataha and then Antique. Sabi nga namin, if we could have this bill, Northern Antique Protected Seascape and Landscape will be the Tubataha in Northern Antique. So with that siguro, Madam Senators, honorable members of the committee, DNR is very, very much involved in this, together with BIFAR, together with the LGU, and together with the support of our dear Congresswoman Ligarda, and the provincial government of the mayors of Antique, and the provincial government of Antique through Gob Kadjaw. Thank you so much po. In behalf po ng Red namin sa Reptilia, we are conveying our thanks to the committee in this hearing for supporting our conservation effort together with our Secretary Roy Simato. Thank you po.
Thank you. Yes, Senator Lauren.
I just wanted to thank my Penro for competently describing the North Antique landscape. Oo. Tapos hindi ba, yun lang ang the only remaining low-lying forest is in Pandan. Correct? Penro, yung only remaining low-lying forest ay sakop ng Aklan at saka ng North Antique at doon may opisina or observation tower ang PhilIncon, yung NGO na tinatag ni Professor Curio na namatay na na German scientist na document at nagko-conserve ng biodiversity sa mga forest ng Pandan among other LGUs in that area. Tama, Penro? Ojo, hindi ko marinig. Sorry, I can't hear.
Nakamit yan.
Yan. Okay, Penro.
Ma'am, yung forest area natin, Northwest Panay, ito po yung last frontier natin sa Panay in terms of forest, in terms of wildlife. And then, yung counterpart niya, only marine area, itong NAPSL natin. Ibig sabihin, kung ano yung state of health ng forest area natin, it will reflect yung state of health ng reef ecosystem natin sa marine protected area. Tama po kayo, ma'am.
Sorry, nakamute po.
Yung oceanic manta ray na binanggit ni Penro, na-discovery lang ng mga divers, sila Bog Rosales, nung isang linggo. Sa Tubataha lang daw nakikita yon at nakita sa mga tubig ng Antique. Nakakatuwa i-conserve because Tubataha lang sa Palawan at saka doon nakita daw. Yeah. Anyway, thank you, Penro. Okay.
So, thank you po, ma'am.
At siguro, alam nyo kasi, ang daming ngayong nakasalang yung development of ecotourism destinations. Meron ng template ang DOT at saka DNR, or meron na ba kayong convergence para magkaroon ng standard or requirements for it to be declared as an ecotourism destination?
Yes, madam. Sure po. Si DNR at saka si DOT, yung trabaho po namin is more on collaboration. We see to it that the site is healthy, yung ecosystem, for the forest, for the tourists to enjoy. At si DOT naman, DOT makes sure na ang mga tourists natin, the way they enjoy the nature would be environment friendly. Yun po ang harmonization namin for its function.
Pero may specific standards. Hindi ko alam kung yung DOT, kung meron na kayong kinraft na standards.
Yes,
Kasi
po,
marami
madam.
ngayon marami nag-a-apply ngayon for ecotourism
Yes po, madam. Example po, si DNR po nag-prescribe ng maximum carrying capacity ng particular ecotourism area. With that standard set by DNR, si DOT naman, in collaboration with tour operators, they make sure na yung tourist na pupunta dyan will not be over sa maximum carrying capacity ng area wherein pinamamahalaan po ni DNR. Yun po ang mga standards na na-set namin po. Of course, dandun yung solid waste management.
Yes. Can you please submit to the committee itong standards that you've set when it comes to ecotourism destinations? And the same
Yes.
with DOT, kung meron na kayong ganong standards. Yung,
Yes, ma'am.
katulad
Yes,
nga
ma'am.
na nabanggit nyo, yung carrying capacity.
Yes, Madam Chair.
I guess, di ba may specific area lang naman yung pwede sigurong tayuan ng structure
Yes,
or
ma'am. Tama po, ma'am.
ilang square meters lang yung pwede. Baka may mga ganong standards na kayong naset.
Yes po, ma'am. That were the safeguards that were agreed upon by DNR, set by DNR, and duly observed po ng DOT through its tour operators po.
At siguro, Asik Alabado, can you cite an example na successful yung pagka-develop niya sa ecotourism destination?
One of the ecotourism sites that we are looking at, syempre taga Mindanao din ako, kaya it's eco-cultural. I would go to Lake Cebu. When Lake Cebu was being developed, cultural and nature was being preserved there. So as sa pag-akyat po doon, when we work with the IPs in the area, we were always looking at them as the stewards of ecotourism. So nung nagsimula si Lake Cebu, then nagkaroon na ho tayo ngayon ng Lake Holon. And still it was the IPs who were in the forefront on ecotourism there. They were the ones who would be the tour guides, and at the same time, they were the ones who were preserving the areas so that it can be enjoyed. Ang pagdating po sa ecotourism, we have to look at educating our tourists on being responsible tourists and at the same time papaano mangalaga ng environment. Then next is there has to be community benefits. Pag hindi po magbe-benefit ang ating mga local community within the ecotourism destination, then it will endanger the ecosystem, because pag hindi sila nagkakaroon ng benepisyo, they may harvest it or harness yung mga yung mga natural na resources doon. Then next, it has to be according to the capacity, yung carrying capacity po ng nature, so that even ang pag sinabi ho natin ecotourism, ang laging pong sinasabi, it's always eco that comes first than tourism. So we have to preserve the ecosystem so that there is something that the tourists can enjoy. So first and primary will always be the preservation and conservation of these this area. So yun po yung isa na nakikita namin, that the provided benefits and at the same time nag-enjoy ang mga turista.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Asek. Next siguro, can we hear from the region RD naman? DOT Region 6. Nandiyan pa si RD Helen?
Mahina ata po yung signal
niya.
Ngayon.
Okay.
Opo.
Sige, kay Tieza na lang muna tayo siguro. Because I think very important din yung pwedeng maging role ng Tieza, lalong-lalo na dun sa pag-budget at paggawa ng master plan for this program.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Tieza? Sino bang representative natin from Tieza?
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, Attorney Carillo.
Yes, first I would just like to apologize to Madam Chair muna because naka-office computer lang po ako, so I cannot turn on my camera. The computer doesn't have... Okay, thank you po. Good afternoon, Madam Chair and the members of the committee. Tieza supports the intention of the proposed bill. However, we would just like to the bill to be harmonized with the provisions of RA 9593 as well as the Executive Order number 111 as to the development of ecotourism sites, the National Tourism Development Plan for 2016 to 2022 of the Department of Tourism, and the possible or the resulting guidelines of the Mandanas ruling po. That's all, Madam Chair.
Can Tieza provide help, lalong-lalo na when it comes to funding for this program, for this project? Kaya ba? Kasi nga, balikan natin yung naging concern ni Minority Floor Leader Trilon, pati ni Senator Cynthia Villar, yung budgetary requirement. Ayaw naman natin na maging unfunded itong ipapasa natin.
Yes. Good afternoon, Madam Chair, honorable members of the committee. This is Attorney Aquino po, head of the legal department of Tieza. Regarding po sa funding, Madam Chair, as per RA 9593, actually we are mandated to allocate 5% of our budget for infra projects for ecotourism sites. Madam Chair. So from there we can fund some project. Maybe if this will be pushed through, it may be included in our list of priority ecotourism projects po. As regards po sa normal infrastructure projects, the regular infrastructure projects po kasi ng TIESA usually is third-party initiative from the congressman or from the mayor, from the LGU. But however, with the Mandanas ruling po, Madam Chair, no, I think we will be prohibited from funding devolved projects in the LGU. No? So doon po kami magkakaproblema kasi baka hindi kami payagan ng DBM kasi our proposed corporate budget is subject to approval ng DBM. So what we can do is to allocate the 5%.
Yes, and
Yes, sir. Yes, Madam Chair.
tourism dun sa devolved eh.
Opo, yun nga po kaya po nagkaka-type problem. Pero yung 5% po namin sa RA 9593 hindi po kasama, hindi po covered ng Mandanas ruling po yun. So that 5% can be allocated for ecotourism. However, ang problem lang po namin, marami pong naka-pipeline po ng ecotourism. So we will have the guidelines, we will apply the criteria for prioritization of ecotourism projects po. No? And maybe hindi po ganun kalalaki yung projects that we can undertake regarding po sa NAP-SL po, no? Protected Seascape and Landscape po, no? Siguro pinpointed projects lang po that we can cover po, no? As regards naman po sa the formulation of the NAP-SL plan, Management and Development Plan, we can coordinate with the with DOT po, no? DOT and DNR has the NESI po, no? ASIC Robit po, no? Diba po meron po tayong NESI, and under NESI meron po mga programs and activities for the development of ecotourism site. So pwede po nating isama yon for the preparation of the plan. Yun po, Madam Chair, for TIESA.
Attorney Aquino, more or less, may template na kayo dito, di ba? Kaya the process would be not that expensive siguro. Dahil meron na nga kayong, katulad ng nabanggit niya, marami na kayong nagawa ng ecotourism master plan.
Template as to processing, Madam Chair, no? Pero yung exactong project, depende po yan kasi the detailed engineering plan will all depend on the project po, no? Kung ano po yung project, it may be a tourism information center, it may be a green restroom, or it may be, any related tourism-related projects po, no? So, the processing has a template po, but the detailed engineering plans, of course, will depend on the nature of the project, Madam Chair.
Pero yung, paano yung actual study, yung carrying capacity of the area? Kanino bang budget yan? Sa DNR?
Yun po,
hindi yan under ng TIESA?
Hindi po under po ng TIESA po. No? Usually, we defer or we rely on the studies of the DNR po, no? Kung meron po sila. Or kung meron pong existing management plan, which I think the carrying capacity will be included in the NAP-SL Management and Development Plan to be promulgated by the council po, no, as proposed in the bill. So I think kasama po sana dapat yung carrying capacity for in that plan po, no. And pag meron na pong plan, may identified infra projects na rin po. So all TIESA will do is to implement the project na lang po, the identified project. But of course, it has to have a plan po muna for us to justify yung aming project sa board po ng TIESA.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Attorney Aquino.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Ngayon naman, we'd like to hear from DILG.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. I am Attorney Pudido po from DILG Central Office. On the part of DILG, Madam Chair, we also support the objective of the House Bill and Senate Bill. However, we would like, we have only one comment, Madam Chair, with regard to Section 6, the last paragraph of both House Bill and Senate Bill. Nakalagay po kasi doon that any modification of the coverage of this act due to such factors as changing ecological situation, new scientific or archaeological findings or discovery of traditional boundaries not previously taken into account shall be made through an act of Congress after consultation with the concerned government agencies. Gusto lang po sana namin i-add pursuant to Section 26 and Section 27 ng local government
Attorney Pulido.
Yes,
Wait,
ma'am.
pwede pakiulit na napuputol. Hindi clear. Sorry.
Ma'am, sa
Dun
last
sa last
part,
part na lang kung ano yung gusto nyo idagdag dun sa section.
yes po, that the LGUs be also included in the consultation, Madam Chair, pursuant to Section 26 and 27 of the LG Code, wherein it is stated na lahat po ng programs, national programs that includes LGU should also be, the concerned LGU should also be consulted.
Okay. Okay.
And Madam Chair, with regard to the passage of these House Bill and Senate bills, um, upon receipt of your notice, we have also conducted interfacing or interview with the concerned LGUs, yung lima po. And our DILG Regional Director here, we have RD Ingeniero. Meron po yata silang nakuha na sectoral and technical concerns from the elective officials. Siguro mas makabubuti if RD Ingeniero would share po kung ano po yung nakuha nila na concerns.
Okay. Yes, Director Engineerio. Nakamute po.
Good afternoon po, Madam Chair. Ako po si Juan Jovian, Ingeniero po. Ingeniero. Okay. May I share to you the interfacing conducted by our people from DILG Antique, headed by Provincial Director Cherry Takda. Two minor concerns, pero more on the concerns of the local government units. No? So on the sectoral concerns, matagal na po daw itong issue sa kanila. No? One major issue that came up was how would the fisher folk be affected by the protection measure, and how would the bill or the government ensure that the right to economic activity would be protected. Kasi kung nagkakaroon ng economic tourism, paano yung mangingisda? Ano ho ba ang kanilang, paano maapektuhan pa sila? Yun lang naman yung ano nila. Then on the technical concerns, in regards doon sa Section 6, the total area of 364,453 hectares of the proposed protected area seemingly will overlap with the municipal waters. This is a major fishing ground and terrestrial territory of the 5 municipalities. This overlapping of coverage will trigger the emergence of issues over resource management as to who will be responsible of what resources. This section should be in harmony with the existing policy on the fishery management, specifically Section 16 of RA 10654 or Fishery Code of the Philippines, and other existing local fishery and revenue ordinance of the local government units. In regards to Section 8, seemingly po, no, sana lang po ma-include dun sa pagpaplano ang provincial government, since yung 5 municipality affected is under the supervision of the provincial government, no? And the SP chair of the Committee on Tourism, Environmental Protection, or any SP members can represent the board. On Section 9, seemingly po, no, not all stakeholders of the area are represented in the board. The membership is using the term Association of Barangay Chairman. May we recommend that we should replace it with the Liga ng mga Barangay Municipal Federation President as provided in the local government code. Na wala po kasing Association of Barangay Chairman na official sa local government code. Yung terminology lang po.
Okay.
Opo. Then, the term of office of the ex-officio members should be specified, say 1 term only or 3 years, so as to allow each set of LGU officials to pass on the leadership on the next administration para ho maganda po yung relationship. So generally, yun lang naman po. And most of the proposal coming from the 5 municipalities, ito po yung unanimous proposal nila, no? Number 1, there is a need to delineate the boundaries between the NAPC-SL area and the municipal waters terrestrial territory of LGUs to balance the strategy in area of ecotourism, natural resources, conservation and management, fishing livelihood of marginal fishermen, agriculture sector in the cropland area, commercial and industrial areas, and the revenue generation of LGUs on fishery and tourism. And lastly, there's a need to define the strategies that specify the relationship of the bill vis-a-vis the existing comprehensive land use plan of the each LGUs mentioned. Yun lamang po. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you. And Director, since nabanggit mo na nga yung concerns ng mga LGU, siguro it's time that we hear dun sa mga mayor na magiging bahagi nitong NAPL. With that, I would like to call on Mayor Hill from the municipality of Tibiao. Nandyan po ba si Mayor Bandoha?
Sige na. Magandang hapon po
Yes,
sa iyo, Senator Nancy Binay.
Magandang hapon po.
Sa inyong kasamahan dyan, doon ang inyong komite. Kanina po ako nagkinig, bago mag-upisa pa lang, malauna siguro. At marami akong nalaman, no, sa parte sa plano na akda ng aming butihing senadora, Senator Lorraine Garda. Ako po ay ibig ko lang po masabi sa inyo na ang Tibiao, bubulukin na bayan ito. Ang sabi kanina, yung bundok, nag-mixi. Ang bayan ko po, mayroong 8 na coastal barangay, malaking barangay, na ang source ng livelihood ay fishing. Yung natira na 13 barangay, sa 21 barangay, kaunti lang ang aming taniman ng palay. Yung natira po, bundok, at saka yung aming hanap buhay doon. Ngayon, yung tinatawag namin na yung ecotourism, maganda ho ang bayan namin kasi ho, may 2 kaming malaking ilog na malakas ang agos, malaking ilog, yung Tibiao River. Doon ho lagi ginaganap ang aming water festival, no? Yung water kayaking at saka yung water tubing. Doon hino sa suba na yun, sa ilog na yun, makita ninyo ang una na ginagawa namin na parang paliguan. Ano tawag yan? Kawakbat. Doon ho, dinuluto namin yung tao. Magkapunta kayo, Ma'am Binay. Kawakbat yan, hatbat. Famous ho kami. Tsaka yung budok namin, maganda yun ho sa trekking at saka sa hiking. Sinuriyo namin ng budok namin. Mayroon kami mga trail. Paikot, 2 araw, 3 araw na pwede mo ikutin. Tsaka doon din ho, sa bayan ko, yung Sico Island. Ang Sico Island na yun, kan pa ron, yung pristine pa. Walang tao. At tsaka, mula na ako ang mayor, piniproteksyonan ko yun. Meron kong tahuan doon para mawala na yung illegal fishing. Yun lang ho. Salamat ho ako sa butihing namin senadora kasi alam ko, ipasa ninyo ang aming yung bill niya, na akda niya. Maraming salamat ho.
Maraming salamat din po, Mayor. And sa kasalukuyan ho ba, tumatanggap na ang Tibiao ng turista o sarado pa rin ho kayo?
Limited lang ho, ma'am. meron kaming protocol na sinusunod. At saka nireport namin lahat ng pagpasok ng turista. Lokal lang ho, hindi pa rin.
Local pa lang ho. Yung mga galing lang ho dun sa mga kapitbayan nyo. For the meantime, ang tinatanggap nyo. Okay. Thank you po, Mayor. And ang susunod naman po na tatawagin natin ay si Mayor Sanchez from Municipality of Pandan.
Kadaing na.
Ito po ma'am, magandang hapon po sa inyo, Madam Nancy Binay, at sa lahat po ng kinakatawan ng committee po ninyo, at lalo na po sa aming butihing Congresswoman Loren Legarda. Dito po sa bayan ng Pandan, considering ecotourism yung number one priority namin, meron po kaming potensyal na marami po kasi meron din kaming inland body of water, yung Malumpati, which is known all over the country, na once awarded as the cleanest inland body of water, Hall of Famer, Gawad Pangulo sa Kapaligiran Award, na makakatulong din po itong proposed bill ni Congresswoman Loren, gawa ng mabibigyan pa ng support yung mga tao namin dito in terms of hanap buhay sa dagat at yung mga farmers. So, dito po sa bayan ng Pandan, wala pong problema. Gawa ng transparent po ang ginagawa namin. Na alam ko ay lahat po kami dito magbibigay ng support sa itong tourism potential ng bayan ng Pandan. Sana po ay mabigyan din po kayo ng support at ma-approve po itong proposed bill ni Congresswoman Loren Legarda. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat din po, Mayor Sanchez. Next naman po ay si Mayor Lumugdang ng Municipality of Colasi. Mayor? Siguro, nandyan ho ba siya? Okay. Maybe we would call first Mayor ng Sebastian. Mayor Te of Libertad. LMP
Yes,
President of Antique.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Good
please
afternoon.
proceed.
I hope everybody can hear me.
Yes.
Yes. Good afternoon to each and everyone, for the chairman, and then syempre sa aming idol na Congresswoman Loren Legarda. Thank you, ma'am, for really passing this bill. Kasi ako po yung naging mayor. This is already my second batch of 9 years. So nagsimula po kami ng mag-organize ng aming Coastal Resource Management Program dito sa northern part, tinatawag naming Lipaseco, back in 1997. So during those times, we already initiated ng mga programs and projects to conserve and preserve Pandan Bay, which is the common resource base. Siya po yung tinatawag naming tuna highway. Kaya yung area na to, we really wanted to protect it, to conserve it, and make sure yung lahat ng resources are economically viable and sustainable. Kasi alam po namin na malaki ang kontribusyon namin pagdating sa supply ng isda sa area namin. Now, I am just so thankful that Congresswoman Loren had been very supportive to all of us. Kasi po, nafe-feel namin yung tulong niya in terms of helping us not only on the infrastructure, but on the making sure that our areas are all protected and conserved. So we own the biggest part. Libertad owns the biggest part of the protected area in Northwest Panay Peninsula. The same manner, we have 8, the biggest number of marine sanctuaries in Northwest, in northern area, sa coastal po. So we the whole 5 municipalities are entirely supportive of this intention to pass the bill. Kasi po alam namin this will not only benefit our town but the whole Northern Antique and the whole province, and makakasupply pa po kami based sa FMA 5 namin na malaki ang Libertad or ang Pandan Bay is one of the resource base of species technicalities, but for now, the whole area are really supportive of this bill.
I think may problema ata yung signal ngayon sa Antique. Mayor? Mayor Te? Siguro, balikan na lang ho natin si Mayor Te. Maybe we can hear from the tourism officer, provincial tourism officer of Antique, Mr. Perlas. Go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon. On behalf of the Governor of Antique, we very, very much welcome this bill. The northern part of Antique has always been a driver for tourism growth. Most of our arrivals come from there. At the same time, syempre pag magkakaroon ng tourism activity yon, we also have this fear na yung environment in the periphery masisira, because we've had experiences like that before in Antique, wherein nung nagsara ang Boracay, nobody planned for it. All of a sudden, nagkaroon ng dagsa ng mga tao papunta sa Antique. And unfortunately, some of our eco-resources here have been not irreversibly damaged, pero talagang naapektuhan during the time na bumaha yung mga turista ng Boracay. So a bill like this is much, much welcome. It would bring growth. At the same time, it would protect the area where we would be it should be our heritage for our future Antiqueños. To mention on the biodiversity of the areas which na-mention kanina ni Ma'am Lauren, there was once an expedition here a few weeks ago. Yung manta ray, there are 2 types of manta ray daw eh. One is oceanic manta ray and the other one is reef manta ray. Marami daw reef manta ray, but yung oceanic manta ray, it's already endangered. And when they went out last week, they found 4 in Libertad alone. And I think, considering that there are less than 100 around the world, that shows how rich the resources that we need to protect for the future of Antiqueños and all Filipinos. So on behalf of the province, on behalf of the governor, we very much welcome and support this bill.
Yung provincial government, may existing na ba kayong development plan for Northern Antique?
We have a development plan, ma'am, for the entire province. However, I must admit we had to revise this because, of course, we had to integrate this thing called COVID, which happened to us last year. So medyo na discard lang ang mga plano. But in terms of a plan na yung Northern Antique lang, I don't think we have a plan focused much on that. But because of COVID, we really intend to market the northern part of Antique as a bubble, because a vast majority of our tourism arrivals here in Antique is a spillover from Boracay. So kumbaga, while we are waiting for kung ano talaga mangyayari muna while this pandemic clears, we are hoping that we would benefit much, like we very much did, a spillover ng Boracay during the time of nung before, hanggang ngayon din naman. And another thing which we discovered is, tama yung mention kanina ng what's this, ng DNR 6, na ang lakas-lakas na earn ng diving industry sa Boracay. When we found out nga na yung divers pala dinadala din sa Antique from Boracay. So just to show you, imagine what that would do to Antiqueño, to the diving industry in Antiqueño kung dito mismo sa Antique yung magiging kung saan magagaling yun. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Perlas. And then, okay na po ba yung signal ni Mayor Te? Okay na po ba siya? Or may idadagdag pa po ba? Nawala siya. Okay. Ngayon naman po, can we hear from Mr. John Alonsagay of Philippine Initiative for Environmental Conservation?
Good afternoon.
Mr. Alonsagay, yes, please, go ahead.
Can you hear po, ma'am? Okay.
Yes.
So, good afternoon, Madam Chair, and to all the honorable members of the committee. My name is John Carlos from the Antique, and I would like to provide this short statement on behalf of the Philippine Initiative for Environmental Conservation, the nonprofit organization which has been working in the conservation of Northwest Panay Natural Park for more than 20 years, and the Alpha Team organization, which was the youth organization that previously worked to provide knowledge and awareness on the importance of conserving Magaba mangrove wetlands, which is also included in the NAPSIL bill. So, as a non-government organization working in the forefront of environmental and wildlife conservation in the northwestern part of Panay Island, the PhilInCon highlights the need to consider necessary scientific assessments to implement an ecologically friendly, low-impact system. So, the Magaba wetland area in Magapanantica is also home to species, which also highlights that this area is a habitat of the endemic Philippine duck, or Anas luzonka. And area has also been a culturally significant location for fishing rituals. So, in addition, recent discovery of a giant oceanic manta ray in Pandan Bay, which is a very rare species and has been classified by the IUCN as endangered. The species has been cited 3 times on February 23, 24, and 25, 2021, respectively. This further supports the rich marine biodiversity of the area. As observed and stated by local researchers here in Pandan, the area is also believed to be a manta ray ball, or their cleaning station. We believe that more scientific research initiatives would further support the ecological significance of the area. We believe that the passage of the NAPSIL bill will not only provide opportunities for the communities in Northern Antique, but will also give attention in conserving its rich marine and terrestrial ecosystems. In light with ecotourism, we also stress the importance of implementing RA 9003, or the Ecological Solid Waste Management Act, which has been authored by our Honorable Congresswoman Lauren Legarda, alongside Development and Tourism. And the integrity of the ecosystems included in this bill should be protected. So, to sum up, the PhilInCon expresses full support for the passage of the bill. Thank you very much. Durugid niya salamat.
Thank you. Thank you. Ngayon naman po, I would like to call on yung mayor po ng Kulasi, Mayor Reco Puerto. Tama ba pag-pronounce ko?
Mayor of Sebastian, Ma'am Reco Puerto.
Mayor ng Sebaste. Hindi
Yes.
siya mayor na Kulasi. Okay. Mayor? Mahina pa rin ata yung signal ni Mayor. Wala pa din. Okay. Meron po ba tayo resource person or invited guest na who would want to speak or give a comment with regards to this bill? Okay. Mukhang wala na ata. Or any of my colleagues would want to ask a question? Kasi kung wala na po, ay pwede ko na hong i-convene. This committee hereby convenes the TWG to consolidate all the position papers and comments of resource persons, as well as iron out the details of the bills. The committee approves in principle the proposed legislative measures subject to the submission of position papers and the output of the TWG. In the meantime, this public hearing is hereby adjourned. Maraming salamat po.
I wanted to
for
thank
participating.
para ang pagdaloy ng turismo hindi basta-basta, para guided sila na sustainable yung turismo. So with that, I thank my colleagues, Senator Cynthia Villar, for suggesting that funding comes from the national greening. I thank Senator Drilon for noticing my draft bill na walang appropriations provision. I will leave it to the judgment of my senator colleagues to put whatever is the suitable provision on appropriations. Perhaps Senator Angara. I will also like to thank Senator Bong Revilla for his earlier support, Senator Mixabui for filing it, another environmentalist, and Senator Pia Cayetano was also online, I believe, and all our colleagues, and the very good.
And Senator Kiko was
Senator
also present kanina.
Yes, earlier, and Senator Kiko Pangilinan, and post-COVID, maybe we can all swim not just in the Kawa, but also in the beautiful white sand beaches of Lipa Seco. Marami pa sanang presentation si Mayor Bebote, siya ang presidente ng League of Municipalities dahil environmentalist yan, ang tagal-tagal niyang active sa mga NGO sa international din sa conservation sa area. Hindi ko napapahabaan, namimiss ko lang aking seatmate. I love your trees on your in your rooftop garden, which I miss. Another plantita. But thank you also to our regional directors and our agencies who presented. Nakakatuwa ang DOT, alam na alam nila yung ni Yusek Asek Roberto ang kanyang ibig sabihin. Ganyan dapat talaga ang dumarating sa hearing. Alam nila yung mga lugar, handang-handa sila. So salamat sa inyong pagsuporta sa ating local bill. Kung tituusin nyo, hindi to local bill, this will have regional if not national importance. Duro, gid nga salamat, palangga ko kamo. Thank you so much, BFF Senator Nancy. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker Lauren. And since hindi nga tayo makabiyahe at the moment, I cannot personally see yung mga kinakwento ni Asek Alabado kanina. Nung nagkukwento nga siya, parang gusto ko nang bumiyahe. Maybe you can provide the committee pictures para when we do defend this on the floor, may mapapakita tayo sa mga kasamahan natin kung bakit kinakailangan na maging ecotourism destination itong Northern Antique.
Ayan. So kasama natin yung provincial tourism officer but my own photos as well and all the 5 mayors who are online kaya lang ang internet connection doon. Calling on our other seatmates, Secretary Onasan, ang aming wifi sa Antique. Yung pangako mo, wala pa. Okay, mahina ang wifi. At yan ang testigo ang ating committee, pahulog-hulog ang internet. Okay, so thank you so much. Yes, we'll provide you all the information and the beautiful photos and video. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you everybody. And stay safe. Stay safe. The COVID is still there.
Rising, COVID rising. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.